Anybody have any specific questions that they want us to tackle? Else you're gonna hear me talk all night long. Hey, John, how you doing, man?
Doing good, Todd.
Awesome. Awesome.
We plan on getting together with you soon, man. I'm pretty sure Mark probably reached out to you or something like that.
Yeah, he did actually yesterday. So
okay, cool. I was hoping you remember me. I just didn't want to make sure.
Yep. Friday, I'm meeting up with him.
All right, great.
So listen, I guess let's anybody have any wholesale deals that they're have any questions or need any help? Are they getting them under contract? They have them under contract for sale? All right.
Yeah, so I have a wholesale deal going now. I'm in St. Louis. So I have a wholesale deal going in University City, which is county area of St. Louis. And it's a property that is basically down to the studs. I have a little room and I have about 10, 15,000 in room to negotiate from the asking price to my wholesale price.
Okay. So you have it under contract. How long have you had it under contract for?
2 days.
2 days. What have you done? Do you have a buyer's list yourself, or how a good one, or?
So I have a buyer's list, and I'm steady networking to grow my buyer's list. And I also had someone put it on. I didn't do it myself. I'm not that technologically savvy, so I had someone put it on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, things like that.
Okay, I could show you. Well, yeah, that's great. Facebook is, I sell so many deals off of Facebook. You could search in your area of, investors, flippers. It sounds like the property you have is going to be a flip, right?
Exactly.
All right. After they fix it up, what is the value going to be, the ARV?
So I utilize the 70% rule. ARV is about 125. Fix up is about 40, 45. And so I'm going to list it for 45.5.
Okay. So you must have it for 30 grand, right? Is that what you said?
35.
35. Awesome. Okay. So in a lot of times, so as wholesalers, because you could tell you could pitch it out and tell people how much the repairs are going to be. But I could have 5 flippers go through that house, and one's going to be 50 grand, one's going to be 75 grand, one's going to be 30 grand. So I try not to give that number out. Okay. They got to do their own due diligence, because you might find someone that fixes the house up themselves or has a small team. They're the buyers and they save a lot of money. And then you have a guy that uses the best, a most expensive, licensed, insured contractors, and then they double or triple it. So as long as you run through it, you kind of got an idea of what the repairs are, things like that. A lot of times you don't even have to tell them. Like a lot of times when I post one of my deals, I won't put a repairs in there. I'll just tell them what the price is, what it needs, things like that. Let them figure it out. What I know, wholesalers don't even put the ARV in there. They let them figure that out for themselves. But you could do that, no big deal. But it's just but
what about the ROI?
Well, if it's going to be a rental, you could figure that out. If you have, definitely could figure that out for them. And what I usually do on the ROI is I figure out the price. You said 45.5, right?
Yeah.
And then I would figure out how much it needs in repairs. Now you have to give them that number because, you know, because we got to figure out the ROI, and then you figure out what the rent is, minus 10% for management costs, 10% for, you know, maintenance, you know, hold back, and then taxes and insurance, and then compute the ROI from there. I have an Excel sheet. You just punch in these numbers, it automatically pops out. If anyone would like a copy of that, just send me, it's a Google sheet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just put your email in the chat, name, phone number, email, and, you know, just say, send me the Google sheet and I'll have it to you by tomorrow morning. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's.
How do you think, or how would you go about building your buyers list?
Well, Facebook, like I was going to say, search these groups in your area for people like buying houses, wholesale deals, things like that. You can actually look at the groups. Someone else might have posted a property, and you could just look at all the comments and then message all those guys directly, you know, saying, look, I got a property for sale. It might be something you might be interested. It's a flip, and it's okay if I send it to you, and you could get all their information, save it. If you know any real estate agents, they can search that zip code, search that area of any cash sale in the last 12 months. And you find out, you could, one is find out who bought it and skip trace them. Two, you could call the agent and see if they have any buyers, or the buyer, you know, you might want to add their fee on top of your deal, or you could give them, you know, give them the 3% fee or 4% or something, you know, something like that. So there's a way of doing that. But yeah, so that's the way. Facebook is great, I mean, for doing that. And you might even call a title company, investor-friendly title company that does a lot of wholesale deals in your area, and be nice to them and see if they know of any cash buyers that they know that might be looking, you know, looking for a flip. Can they do that, Emma, if someone called you, or is that something that you probably wouldn't do?
So say that again.
If, you know, if I have some of my clients to say, hey, get my information out, and they've verbally given me permission, I'll share it. So yeah, we do get those calls.
Okay, cool. Did you hear me? Hey, Jay, you said, did you hear that, or that?
Yeah.
Also?
Yeah, got it.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, good luck, man, on that.
What do you think about land? I'm contracting now. Well, I'm meeting with a seller, and he has land. Okay.
Well, it depends on the area. I mean, if I'm buying land, I'm buying it, they're giving it to me in Detroit, or I'm getting it for, you know, real cheap. Depends on where it's at. But there's a land, I even looked into this, and I think if I had the time, I would definitely join a couple of different people that have like they're mentors, or they have programs where they call it. I can't even think of it, but they have programs where you could join their program and learn all about land and how to get it, how to sell it, how to wholesale it, how to sell it on terms and things like that. It's a great business.
So you know of some groups?
Yeah. Yep.
If you don't mind, I appreciate if you could shoot that to me.
Okay, I got your information. I'll do that for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a pretty, you know, but again, I don't have time yet, but that you could make a killing off of land. You know, Wholesaling Inc. is a podcast, Wholesaling Inc. I'll put it in the chat. And I think now they do have a land program, Wholesaling INC. Wholesalinginc.com. Wholesalinginc.com. Okay. I think they do have someone that runs their land side of things, but that would be a good one too.
Come on. You want a hamburger? You want a hamburger?
Robert. Hey, Michael Saltzman, man. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. You're welcome.
This guy right here, he's the Pete Maravich of wholesaling.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. All right. Let's see. What else? What else we got? Let's talk some deals.
Hey, Todd. How's it going? This is Randy.
Hey, Randy.
Hey.
What's up, bud?
Hey, what's up? Hey, Jay, just wanted to, you're talking about building your buyers list. The best thing to do, build your buyers list, is get leads and then post them online, things like that. Or what you could do is squat up with other people. Not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to, you use them to get the deal done, but you post it on your social media saying, hey, we just sold this property, get on our buyers list and you'll be the next one, something like that. Use social media to your advantage, man.
Yeah, actually, like I said, I'm not technically inclined, but I'm just starting to kind of get some teaching in it. So if there's anybody that's versatile, that's very thorough with social media, creating ad campaigns and doing different postings, creating websites, hit me up.
That's what YouTube's for, man. YouTube University.
Yeah, I've been on that lately.
Yeah, you could go to Fiverr. You might be able to get a VA from the Philippines that could do some things for you and that, stuff like that. But Fiverr, let me just type that in there. Look up Fiverr. There's really, really cheap. I want to say it's Fiverr, I believe it is. Or it's Fiverr. No, ER. I think it's right. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, it costs $5 or $6 and you can have them pull lists for you. They'll do all kinds of crazy things for you. And anything that's going to take you a couple hours to do and waste your time, have them do it. And they could create a what do you call it? A logo for you for cheap. They could do all kinds of things, name it, but look that up, maybe spend an hour a day at night or early in the morning. You don't want to, the kind of stuff that you could do at any time during the day. I always tell people, don't do it between 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. That's the time you need to be talking to sellers and buyers, okay? Or going on appointments. The stuff like that, you got to do after hours or in the morning or something like that. But that's just a suggestion. You trying to go to Fiverr? Yeah. Yep. Cool. What else? I wanted to maybe share my screen. Let me see if I can find this. I wanted to show you guys something on a podcast I was listening to that was really, really helpful. All right, let's see. KPIs, about your KPIs. Here it is. Boom. All right, let me pull this up, share my screen. I wrote this up. It's sitting in my office. All right, let me share my screen. Here you go. Screen 2. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me get rid of this. All right, so I wrote this, if you look at my office, I have these big Post-its. They're probably 2 feet wide by 3-4 feet long, okay? I put them all over my office. So I wrote this on, I think Mike Mukhtar was in the office and we kind of went over this. So I was listening to a podcast, one of the Steve Trang, it was within the last 30 days. And I listened to it when I was in my car. So I said, I got to write this stuff down. So I stopped the podcast, started listening to another one, and I went back to this and listened to it again and wrote everything down. So this guy, you know, he helps people with their businesses and get things, you know, get things on track. So I could tell you this, a few years ago, a couple years ago, I never kept track of anything. I call myself a cowboy, just went out there talking to people, getting deals, closing deals, doing it again, just going crazy. But you really, in my opinion, need to know what's working, what's not working, how much money you're making. You got to pay yourself. You cannot just put every penny back into your business. All right. Your business will fail. Your life will fail. Okay. I am proof of that when it comes to that. So I have a goal that I want to make so much money a month. And then I have it set up where so much of that money goes to my life expenses. I pay myself, I save money, tithe, all that good stuff. The rest of the money goes back into the business. Okay. So that's what I do. But anyways, so you got to really document your vision. Okay. And you do a short-term vision, all right, which would drive the results, and then the long-term vision, which, you know, your long-term vision will give you purpose. This is what drives you, gives you hope. And when I was talking to Kevin Brooks actually today, that long-term vision might not be real estate. You got to figure out what your purpose is in life, which I got to figure out what my purpose is. I have no idea still. But anyway, so to become great in business, you have to know your numbers, okay? So here's a daily KPIs, your key processing indicators, and your key performance indicators is your weekly, what you should be, as a wholesaler now, this is what he suggested, and I agree. And you might add one or two down the road, but so every day you should be, how much did you spend on marketing? All right, I guess that might be a weekly thing or a monthly thing. So, but you got to know how much money you're spending on marketing. And then what were the marketing channels? Like maybe you're doing some direct mail, you're doing some texting. I tell you, I don't spend much money on marketing. I'm more of a network type guy. I might do some driving for dollars. You know, I pay $100 for that. And then I might do some postcards out of that. So, and then I skip trace lists. I guess that's considered marketing, but I really don't, you know, I don't do text campaigns and things like that. But anyways, you should keep track of that. Then how many leads came in? And then how many, and not just that, what channels, how did the leads come in? Was it, was it an auction list? Was it a certain list or campaign that you did? How many offers did you make? This is daily. How many offers did you make? How many appointments did you go on? How many disposition showings were done? Meaning you have it under contract and now you're trying to sell the deal, right? How many contracts and closings with issues? That's important. So if you're getting a lot of contracts with issues, try to get to the bottom of it. Why are these issues? Sometimes they're fluke. Sometimes there might be a reason. It might be the certain marketing you're doing. All right. And then on your weekly, it's like how many leads did you get? How many qualified leads did you get? Because you might have VAs that work for you or other people in your office that make calls for you. A lead is totally different than a qualified lead. Again, I had VAs before. They could give you 10 leads in a day and all of them are garbage because all they did is find someone that's breathing, that agreed with them and sent you the lead and then you do all the work. So you got to really train them up. It's not their fault, it's your fault. You got to train them up. You got to give them qualified leads and you got to be specific. What is a qualified lead? And that might be the 4 pillars. You know, they get you the motivation, they get you the price, you know, things that you want them to get for you. And a VA that you pay $5 or $6 an hour to, you might give them an incentive. Say, listen, if you give me 20 qualified leads a week, instead of paying you $5 an hour, I'm going to pay you $6.50 an hour. Okay. It's a huge, someone in the Philippines, that's a lot of money. All right. Or you could do things like that. Now, if you only give me 5 qualified leads, I'm only going to pay you $4 an hour because you didn't do your job. So there's all kinds of different ways you could do it. And then how many contracts did you get? How many disposition contracts did you get? That's something like astro flipping. You're working with other wholesalers, things like that. I do a lot of that. And then how many closings did you get? So these are things that should be checked daily and weekly, and you make corrections as things are not working. Okay. But anyways, I just listened to the podcast. Steve Trang has a killer podcast. I think he is the best around. Okay. He interviews people all over, not just wholesalers, flippers, just the brilliance, his mission, his purpose, he always says, is he wants to create or help people, 100 people to become millionaires. And that's what he does. So he's got some good training there. Sergio, I do not have a software tool to track my KPIs yet. I use FreedomSoft as my CRM, and it has something in there. I haven't figured it out yet. So that's my next step. That is my next step. So, and I don't have VAs. It's easy to track mine because I'm a one man, I'm a solo entrepreneur right now. So now I'm trying to figure out what's my next step. What do I need next in my business? Haven't figured it out yet. And the reason I'm a solo entrepreneur is because previously I wasn't a solo, I had a partner, and I learned a lot, good and bad, from that partnership. So then I decided to split up, and I wanted to be a solo entrepreneur right now. I didn't want a partner. So trying to figure it out. Cool. Hey, Sergio, what are you working on? What are you doing?
I'm doing wholesaling and creative finance. I actually just got my first wholesale. I close on it next week. And I got my first creative finance. I close on it next week.
Nice. Good job. So you're brand new.
Basically, yeah. I mean, not brand new. I've been, I'm an engineer, so I kind of studied this stuff for a long time before I jumped into it. I actually met you at the auction like a year ago.
Oh, did you? Sweet.
Yeah. The Wayne County auction. It was in December.
Were you with somebody?
No, I was by myself.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think Emma, I don't know. I heard that the Wayne County auction is supposed to start July 22nd. That's the scuttlebutt. Do you know anything?
July?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I doubt if they start that early. They're still reconciling. The last I spoke with Sabri last week, I know that they had extended folks to still be able to redeem properties that were foreclosed up on to the end of this month. He said they may do it in July. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, but I highly doubt they're going to start the auction out soon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant the mortgage foreclosed, the weekly foreclosure.
Oh, that I don't know. That's you and Davin's thing.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'll see what I can find out for you, but I'm not sure on that.
Yeah. Oakland County and Genesee counties already started their weekly foreclosure auction. Actually, Genesee County was today.
Is it in person? Back in person or?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
They're doing it a little bit different. They're doing it outside now, like on the steps, the courthouse steps, like they're supposed to. But yep, it is.
Well, I'm sure Wayne isn't too far behind then.
Yeah, Wayne and Macomb, I heard July 22nd, but not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
See what I can find out.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Sergio, so your creative finance deal, what kind of creativity did you do?
This is a seller finance. He owns the house free and clear. So we did a note and a mortgage, got a 13-year balloon. It's in Sterling Heights. I did pay full price. I got it for $252, but all fixed up. I think it's worth about $280. It needs a new roof, a little bit of cosmetics, maybe 25,000 in repairs. So it's kind of like full price, basically.
Right.
13-year balloon, $1,000 a month payments. I paid taxes and insurance. So
now you pay taxes and insurance. So you're probably around $1,400 a month, right?
Closer to $1,500. About this, yeah, closer to $1,500 a month.
So what are you gonna do with it?
I didn't think it was gonna need like a new roof and stuff like that. So initially I was just gonna do a lease option on it, maybe a 3-year lease option. But if it's gonna need those things, I'm probably gonna have to fix them up and get it in good rental standing before I do the lease option. Now my exit strategy changed, and I'm just gonna sell it on a land contract, wrap it, basically.
Well, lease option is you could still, you don't have to, yeah, it's similar to a land contract. You could still get a huge down payment, or option deposit, right? Option deposit, and
right.
Give them and they could take care of the repairs also. So, you could do that also. Either way.
Well, so the way I've heard people structure it is the first 500 they take care of, and then anything after that would be like my responsibility. So if it's like a new roof, I would be responsible for most of it.
No,
what do you think?
No, I mean, I've done lease options. They're responsible for everything. They're in their
really,
mind, yeah, in their mind, they're putting a sizable option deposit down. They're gonna, I guess it depends on how serious they are. You could always set them up with a good mortgage person or someone that could make sure they understand what exactly needs to be done for them to get approved to get a mortgage, right?
Right.
And you're looking for that person that wants to be a homeowner, that has a great income, that has money to put down, but doesn't have the credit to do so right now. And you got to make the payment high enough where they want to get a mortgage. So they really want to work towards it. So when they do get a mortgage, then that payment is going to be a lot less for them. So it gives them an incentive to get their shit together.
Right. So how many year lease option would you do if you were to go the lease option route?
I would do a 2-year lease option, and then with a year extension where they could go another year as needed. But the price goes up higher, if it goes into year 3, then instead of the sale price being whatever you agreed, let's say your sales price is 300, and you agree that if year 3, it's going to go up to 315 or something, so now that's another incentive for them to do it within the first 2 years.
Okay. Do you think a lease option would be better? Because I have a 13-year balloon, so I would not even be using the remaining 11 years, assuming they do exercise their option. Do you think?
Well, land contracts, if someone knows what they're doing, if you showed me a land contract, I could not pay you for 3 months. You got to take me to court, and then 3 months late, 3 months we go to court. I'm 6 months behind, and all I got to do is pay up the 3 months, and because that's what the judgment was for, and I pay that. Then you take me to court, and you're spending more money, and every I'm telling you, there's people that are pros on land contracts. You got to be very careful in selling as the seller. I buy them on land contracts all the time. Of course, I'm not going to do that to anyone, but it works out for us as buyers. But as sellers, you got to be careful, you know, and you got to do it right. You got to check someone's income, their job. You know, if they're a pro and you didn't do all that and you didn't fill out the application right and have a third party fill out that application, you go into court, you don't have a leg to stand on. All right. If you do something wrong, they could say, look, they knew I couldn't afford this thing. They took too much money from me as a down payment. They did this. They charged me too much interest. And the judge, if he's tenant friendly or he's on their side, you're in trouble. You might have to pay all the money back. It could get messy.
So when you sell on land contract, you always have them go through the RMLO, right?
I don't sell on land contracts.
You've never sold on.
I've sold on land contracts and I did it, never had a problem. But once I learned about lease,